2 days ago, we celebrated the Love Day. We celebrated Valentine's Day. And it's just amazing that the Lord would give me this word 2 days after Valentine's Day. Indeed, love makes a way. Love makes a way. Love makes a way. I have out of the book of Isaiah, out of the book of Isaiah, chapter 53, there is an account by Isaiah the prophet. Isaiah talks about the sacrifice that Jesus made on the cross in that he died for us. Truly, truly, love is displayed in action. Love is displayed in action. And we see that in that Christ died for us. Jesus died for us. He died for us on the cross, and that was God's act of love. Now, love is described in many ways. We have 4 or 5 different words that describe love. One is eros, two is stargate, three is agape, four is eros, and then there is another type of love. This love is a type of love that someone may have for a celebrity, or the celebrity may have for his or her followers. But I'm going to say that it is the love that someone has towards a celebrity. Now, you can love. We know that phileo love is brotherly love or a friendly type of love. We know that eros is an erotic type of love. It is a romantic love. We know that stargate love is a love between a mother and a child, between a mother, a child and a mother, between a child and a father, between a cousin and a cousin and another cousin. That is the just definition of Stargate love. And then we have the other love, which is a love that I just found out that there is a word connected to it. I initially began my search looking up phenom, and it is a type of love that those that love stars, you can't really understand it. They are just loved, and that's a different type of love. Today we're talking about Isaiah 53, the account in Isaiah 53, and it begins with, "Who hath believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed?" I mentioned this before in a talk, I think about a week ago, that this is Jeremiah speaking, and the Spirit of God is speaking through Jeremiah. And it's although Jeremiah is talking to himself and talking to those that we know many years later will look at this 53rd chapter of Isaiah, Isaiah prophesying almost 800 years before the crucifixion of Christ. And it goes on to say, verse 2, "For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant and as a root cut out of dry ground." Now, I'm not really sure what that means, but it's giving us the account of the emergence of Jesus, of the birth of Jesus, the life of Jesus. It goes on to say, "He hath no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there shall be no beauty that we should behold him." And we know that most people love beauty, and that is an approachable presentation. If someone is beautiful, somebody is beautiful, we would more than likely want to approach that person. But if that person is not beautiful, or they have some type of physiological appearance that would keep you from approaching that person, most people will not approach someone like that. And Isaiah talks about Jesus. He talks about his appearance, how that no one would want to be around him. No one would want to be in his presence. And it goes on to say in verse 4,
He is, verse 3, he is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief.
I find that to be so amazing because the dist of the world, the disenfranchised, those that have been dissed and rejected by society, I can see in this verse, in verse 3, it says, he is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised. He was despised. People hated Jesus. They hated him, and as Jeremiah declares, almost 800 years before his birth, we have seen the manifestation in the earth of people that still hate him. I mean, it's a psychological enigma. Why would he be so hated thousands of years later? But Jeremiah, 800 years before his birth, declared to us that he would be rejected, that he would be despised, he would be a man of sorrows. It goes on to say in verse 3, and we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised and was esteemed him not. They esteemed him not. Now, we esteem a lot of people in this world. We esteem the celebrities. We esteem the movie stars. We esteem leaders. And none of these leaders, celebrities can build your soul, can construct your soul, can give you a life, can transform your life. Yet they are more esteemed than Jesus. Now that's interesting. That's interesting. Go on to verse 4. Surely he hath borne our griefs. And I find this so weighty that, Isaiah's talking about Jesus bore our griefs, bore the nature that would dishonor God, Jesus took that dishonor, that disgrace, that rejection that should have come on man. And I love the title of this talk, Love Makes a Way. God made a way through the perfect love. Love that is perfected is called agape. And in fact, we cannot love another human being without the conduit, without the Spirit of God loving that person through us. And that is a model that is established in Jesus sending his son as a conduit to love humanity through a human person that another human being can interface with and understand. They said that Jesus was acquainted with man, acquainted with how we live, acquainted with how we function. And so that is a level of love that God is talking about. And the title is God Makes a Way. Of course, we know that there are all types of love. There is eros love. Eros is an erotic love. It is the love that is displayed between man and a woman, between a husband and a wife. And does that not model the love that Christ has for the church? Does that not model the love that God has for his humanity? It is not an erotic love, but erotic love is displayed in touch, in conversation, in connection. It is displayed. And is it not interesting that the demonstration of God making a way, love making a way, in his action to provide Christ Jesus, to provide Jesus as a perfect sacrifice, the perfect sacrifice to redeem our relationship with the God that created the universe. More grace.